Some crimes are so shocking that they defy human understanding. This is the story of a man who locked his own daughter in a basement for 24 years. And no one knew. The case of Joseph Fritzl is one of the most disturbing in modern history. Viewer discretion is advised. A black and white image of Joseph Fritzl appears on screen, followed by a picture of Amstetten, Austria. Joseph Fritzl was born in 1935 in Amstetten, Austria. To the outside world, he seemed like an ordinary man, an engineer, a husband, and a father. But behind closed doors, he was a manipulative and dangerous predator. His daughter, Elisabeth Fritzl, was born in 1966. She was a bright child, but her father's strict and controlling nature made her life difficult. He was abusive and had a disturbing obsession with her. A young Elisabeth appears in childhood photos, followed by a dark hallway leading to a basement. When Elisabeth turned 18, her nightmare began. On August 28, 1984, Joseph lured her into the basement of their family home. He told her he needed help installing a door. As soon as she stepped inside, he overpowered her, drugged her, and locked the door behind her. She woke up in complete darkness. The walls were soundproof. There were no windows, and the door was reinforced with heavy locks. Joseph Fritzl had spent years designing a hidden underground prison beneath his house. A reenactment shows Elisabeth in the small, dimly lit basement, trembling in fear. For 24 years, Elisabeth remained trapped in that basement. She had no contact with the outside world. The space was barely 5.5 meters long and 1.75 meters high, with only a small bed, a sink, and a toilet. It was cold, damp, and suffocating. Her father visited her daily, bringing food and supplies, but also inflicting unimaginable abuse. Over the years, Elisabeth gave birth to 7 children, all fathered by her own father. 3 of them were kept in the basement with her, never seen the sun. 3 others were taken upstairs by Joseph and raised in the house above, where he convinced his wife, Rosemary, that Elisabeth had abandoned them and joined a religious cult. One of the newborns did not survive. The baby fell sick, struggling to breathe. Elisabeth begged her father to get medical help, but he refused. The child died in her arms. Joseph took the baby's body and incinerated it in a furnace to cover up the crime. Years passed and Elisabeth lost all hope. She tried to escape multiple times but failed. Joseph controlled every aspect of her life. He even installed electric doors to prevent her from reaching the outside world. No one suspected a thing. His wife, his neighbors, and even the police believed his story that Elisabeth had run away. Then, in April 2008, something unexpected happened. One of Elisabeth's children, 19-year-old Kirsten, became gravely ill. She suffered from seizures and was slipping into a coma. Joseph had no choice but to take her to the hospital. But his lies began to unravel. Doctors noticed something unusual about Kirsten. She was pale, malnourished, and spoke in a strange, isolated manner. They alerted the police and the investigation began. Officers questioned Joseph, but his story didn't add up. Meanwhile, Elisabeth, still locked in the basement, begged him to let her and her other children go. After 24 years of captivity, Joseph finally brought Elisabeth and her 2 remaining basement children upstairs. She was forced to pretend she had just returned home. But when doctors and police asked her about her daughter, she refused to speak. She was terrified of her father's threats. Then, in a private moment, doctors convinced Elisabeth to tell the truth. With a pen and paper, she wrote down her horrifying story. Police immediately arrested Joseph Fritzl. When they raided the house, they discovered the hidden basement. What they saw left them in shock. Authorities rescued the children, who had never seen daylight, never spoken to strangers, and had lived their entire lives underground. Psychologists were brought in to help them adjust to the real world. The case made headlines worldwide, and people were horrified by the unimaginable cruelty Joseph had inflicted on his own daughter. In March 2009, Joseph Fritzl was put on trial. He showed no remorse, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. He was convicted of murder, rape, incest, and imprisonment and sentenced to life in prison. He was sent to a special psychiatric facility, where he remains to this day. Elisabeth and her children were given new identities and placed in a secure location. Psychologists worked with them for years to help them heal from the trauma. Despite everything, Elisabeth showed incredible resilience. She built a new life, far away from the horrors of her past. The Joseph Fritzl case remains one of the most disturbing in modern history. It exposed the terrifying reality of what can happen behind closed doors, even in an ordinary neighborhood. It serves as a chilling reminder that true evil can sometimes be hiding in plain sight.